students, faculty, administration, and members of the community. My name is Amy Langley, and on behalf of Dr. Ricky Ford, President of NEMCC, the Cultural Arts Committee, and the Mississippi Humanities Council, I thank you for your presence here tonight, whether you are live or virtually attending. Every year, the Mississippi Humanities Council recognizes and sponsors the Humanities Teachers Award, which pays tribute to outstanding faculty in traditional humanity fields at each of our state's institutions of higher learning. I am proud to say that this year's winner of Northeast Mississippi Community College is Mr. Bryan Mitchell, a faculty member of Fine Arts and a close colleague. We are here tonight to celebrate his contribution to the humanities and to hear his presentation, Percussion, Something for Everyone. After Mr. Mitchell's presentation, there will be a reception in the choir room. Everyone is invited. We ask that you space yourselves out as much as possible. There are tables in the hall and in the lobby to aid in social distancing. A survey code will also be available at the end of the presentation. Please take the time to answer it. Students who seek extra credit can document their attendance by filling out the survey. Bryan Mitchell is a native of Athens, Mississippi. He received his associate's degree from Northeast Mississippi Community College and a bachelor's degree in music education from the University of Mississippi. He holds a master's degree in music education from the University of Mississippi and is in pursuit of a doctor of philosophy in music education. Mr. Mitchell began his teaching career in the Pontotoc City School District. In addition to teaching, Mr. Mitchell takes every opportunity to perform and has played with various orchestras. He currently is the principal percussionist of the Corinth Symphony Orchestra and has also played with the North Mississippi Orchestra, the Delta Symphony, and the Germantown Symphony. He is invited each year to adjudicate several marching contests, as well as the MHSAA Regional 3 State Marching Evaluation. He has also participated in several chamber groups in the North Mississippi and Tennessee areas. Mr. Mitchell is the Minister of Music at Smith Chapel Christian Methodist Episcopal Church in Oxford, Mississippi, where he has been the pianist since 2001. He joined the faculty of Northeast Mississippi Community College in 2006 and teaches music appreciation, the percussion studio, the Tiger Drum Line, and the show band for Tigerland Marching Band, the Northeast Symphonic Band, and the Tiger Pet Band. Please welcome Mr. Bryan Mitchell to the stage.
Congratulations. If you've never done anything percussion, you are now a percussionist. Everybody do this? Good job. Very good job. So, first of all, before I jump into this, just want to thank everyone that had anything to do with this. I'm not going to name any names, so I'm probably going to leave somebody out, but thank you to the Cultural Arts Committee. Thank you, everyone, for this. This is great. I'm very excited. You guys bear with me because this subject I'm very excited about, of course, with me being a percussionist. But there's just so many things that you can do with percussion that anyone can jump in and do. You don't have to be a world-class musician, you can just pick up something and have fun. What we did right there, that was an example of percussion, just playing rhythms on something, getting different sounds. We got our different sounds from the arms of the chairs, from our hands. Even the way that you clap your hands. You can clap your hand like this. You can cup it. You can do a little, right? So many things that we can do. This picture right here, for any percussionist, this makes us salivate right here. This is, if you gave any percussionist or any drummer this setup right here, you can leave them alone for a month and they will be okay. So many things that we see here. Now, like I said, tonight this is going to be, you guys are going to participate with me, so we're going to talk to each other. You guys are going to play some things, we're going to sing some things. So just right now, just with anybody in here, name some instruments that we see up here. Somebody go.
Snare.
There we go. Next.
Xylophone.
All right, keep going.
Microphone.
All right, keep going.
Congas.
Congas. Somebody said
Cymbal.
cymbals. That's right, keep going.
Crotale.
Crotales.
Chimes.
Chimes.
Djembe.
Wait. What kind of chimes?
Both.
Yes. There we go. We got chimes. We have wind chimes. I heard something else. What I hear?
Djembe.
Djembe. We're going to talk about that tonight. What else we got?
Tambourine.
Tambourine. Take us to church, good Lord. We got a tambourine. What else we got? Wiro. Claves.
Ceiling mounted bass drum.
That's right. That's right. And we haven't even named everything in the percussion realm. So when I was preparing for this, it was actually hard. Hey, I forgot to have mine. Because I'm going to move around a good bit tonight. So I'll be here, kind of there. But it was actually pretty hard to narrow down what I wanted to talk about because there's just so many things that we could talk about for anyone to play percussion, even if you aren't classically trained on it, anything like that. So, percussion. This is the oldest of the instruments. As a caveman beat out a rhythm on a hollow piece of wood, percussion. This is it. So, I don't think that that's supposed to look like that. But that's okay. Let's see the next slide.
All right.
There we go. All right. So, if you talk about percussion, we can talk about young children. This is a good thing for young children. You can have elementary age children doing percussion, and for most of us, or for most of the young children, this is the first thing that they do. The first thing that they do is what we did. The body percussion things. If you think back to doing the hand clap, this whatever we're doing with all that stuff, I don't remember all of it, but all of that stuff is just percussion. Hand claps, using the back of the hands, the front of the hands, doing a little rhythm, this, all that stuff. But as far as a classroom, you have something that's called the Orf Method. It's developed by Charles Orf during the 1920s. So it combines music, movement, drama, and speech into lessons that are similar to a child's world of play. So the whole idea with Orf is to have a music setting, but to have it to where the children don't actually know that they're learning music. They're just having fun playing. They're just doing all these different things. So it's used by teachers to encourage students to make music as individuals as well as make music in groups. If you look at the instruments that I have here, these are instruments based off of mallets, or originally African instruments. As you see, they're all in one line. They're not really set up like a piano. The cool thing about any of these instruments is, depending on what you want them to play, to make them have more encouragement and more confidence, you can take off the notes that you don't want them to play. So whenever they're playing stuff, it's not going to sound wrong because there's no wrong notes for them to hit. This encourages mind development. This encourages exploration. And just confidence in playing. There's many things that you can do with Orf to where the student is pretty much just kind of making up their own rhythm. You'll have a section where everyone will play something that they need to play, and then someone can kind of improv or make up their own thing on top of it. It's a very good way to introduce students into music. whenever you do that, just like with the recorder, a lot of times you can start teaching them music notes. You can start saying, okay, well, this is going to be your C, this is your E. You can start teaching them that. They'll start reading that. So the older they get, the more music classes they get even more and more prepared for being musicians. So it's very good. So one thing that I took from the Orf Method, something that me and Dr. Bechtel, we kind of ended up doing this when we had our grad classes together. And I ended up using it here at Northeast, even with my drum line, because we normally would have well over 30 members just in the drum line. So when we have drum camp, I'm trying to remember everyone's name. It's just a way to remember. So I started doing this, and this was a way for us to break the ice. It was a way for us to see everyone, and we could go down everybody's name and try to remember their name. With all 30 people, we're just going around the room. So we're going to do an example of this now. Okay, we're going to do an example of this now. So Dr. Beck, I'm going to start with you. Okay? So this is what we'll do. So I'll start with me. I'm going to say my name, and then you say my name. Then I'll say my name, you say my name. So watch, it's going to go like this. So I'm going to go Mitchell. You go
Mitchell.
I go Mitchell.
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 And together, Mitchell. Got it? So normally I will kick a little beat just on the snare drum, or just some little groove that we'll do. So let's say I'll do something like this. So I'll start it. I'll go Mitchell.
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 Mitchell. Back up.
Bechtel. Bechtel.
There you go.
Bechtel. 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 Bechtel.
You try yours.
Done. Done.
Say it loud.
Done. 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 Done.
Each one.
Clinton.
Clinton.
Clinton. Clinton. Clinton. Clinton.
Guess what you do last?
Basin. 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 Basin.
You say the name so many times and you're looking at the person so many times, you can go around the room one time and you basically got it. So we do that every drum camp that we have, every single drum camp. We'll meet on that Friday. We'll kind of get things kind of together. Then that Saturday, that's the first thing that we do. And then I go around the room. Mr. Dunn, who's this? Dr. Becker, who's this? And so we'll go around and kind of name everyone. But that's an idea of using Orf just to kind of break the ice, kind of get some things moving like that. So let's keep going. Timpani. This is going to be like one of our oldest types of drums. So it says the first recorded use of early timpani was in ancient times when it was known that they were used in religious ceremonies by the Hebrews. It says the moon of Cajon in Bali is the largest single-cast bronze kettle drum in the world and is more than 2,000 years old. You have all seen timpani before. If you've watched Lord of the Rings, if you've watched any Hunger Games, Katniss is coming down the way, she's about to set her dress on fire for some reason, and you look up at the top, and it's got the timpani players, and they're playing this boom, boom, boom. The cool thing that I didn't know was when it is used on the battlefield, for some reason, it disorients horses. It's crazy. So that's why they would have these big drums just out and just playing these crazy groups. So, and you've all seen it before. Or playing some type of rhythm, something like that. If you think about the Vikings, and they're on the ship, and they're all rowing the ship from the side, they're going to have somebody in the back that's going to be going. It keeps them in rhythm. So with the timpani, just a quick overview of this. Normally, these heads would have been made of animal skin. Most of the percussion instruments, if you have a head or something that you're playing on, usually in the beginning it was made out of some kind of animal skin. And you can still today buy animal skin, but most of the time it's made out of something that's going to be synthetic. The timpani, of course, the kettle idea comes from this. Made of copper. You have this big resonant sound. And if you hit it, it's just going to keep going until you muffle it. It has pedals that you have. So with the pedals, you can change the pitch. The pedal's not that tight. So I'm going to play a piece. This piece is going to include pitch bending with the pedal. And you'll get to hear all the different dynamic ranges. So you're going to hear some louds, you're going to hear some softs, you're going to kind of see some of the things that the timpani can do now. All right, snare drum. Normally everyone knows kind of what a snare drum is. So tonight we're going to talk about just like a colonial snare drum, like in the picture that you see here, the pictures that you see here. This whole area of the Civil War is very, very interesting to me because the drummers that they would have were just these young kids, just these young boys who just all wanted to sign up to be drummers. They thought the soldiers were heroes. They looked up to the soldiers in the Confederacy, in the Union, whatever side, those young men looked up to those soldiers and they thought the world of those soldiers. So they wanted to be a part of what was going on. So a way that they could be a part of it, instead of just being a straight up soldier, was they could be what we now know as the little drummer boy. That's kind of where we get that term. These young men would sign up and they got to lead the soldiers into battle. They got to play all of these, what we now call rudiments. Now there are 40 like basic rudiments that percussionists are supposed to know. And now we have all these hybrids and all this backsticking mama papas, panty flaw-flaws, all this stuff. But back then it was just the normal rudiments that we know as the rudiments that we start with as percussionists. So in this picture, so to the right, a drummer boy named Jackson, he poses for a portrait during the Civil War. Jackson is believed to be a freed or escaped slave who joined the 79th Infantry Regiment, U.S. colored troops, an all-black unit assigned to Kansas and Arkansas during the war that incurred heavy casualties. As a drummer, Jackson would have used up to 40 different beats to convey his commander's orders to assemble for formation. He, like many other drummers, also served as a stretcher bearer. So if someone was hurt, they would set down the drum, go get whoever they need to get and get them off the field, and then keep doing their duties. So it says that as a drummer, Jackson would have used up to 40 different beats. So just like with the timpani on the battlefield, the snare drum can tell the soldiers what's going on. So if you think about a battlefield, even if you're thinking about Vikings or something like that, it's going to be loud. You're going to have a lot of metal that's going to be hitting. If you think about the Civil War, of course, there's bullets, there's cannons. There's so many things that's going. They're over a wide range of land. So it's hard for a commander to yell what he wants done. But if you have a drummer that is playing it, they can play whatever they need to play, and the soldiers know, okay, we need to do this. So he may have a call that uses triple rattling cues. So the soldiers will know, okay, I just heard that, we need to go this way. Or he may use something that uses flams. Then we go, oh, okay, so we need to go over here. The soldiers knew exactly what all of those cadences meant. In today's time, with the snare drum, there's even ways that they have that for the soldiers too, where they know, okay, we need to go eat, or we need to go do this, or they use it as a cadence while they're doing their PTs or something like that. So this next picture, to the left, Robert Henry Hendershot, the drummer boy of Rappahannock. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's what we're going with. Poses with his drum during the Civil War. Hendershot enlisted in Company B, 9th Michigan Infantry in March 1862 and was taken prisoner that July at the Battle of Stones River. After his release, he joined the 8th Michigan Infantry, although he suffered from regular seizures. While awaiting discharge for epilepsy, Hendershot claimed to have helped push off the first boat and then clung to the gunwale as the 7th Michigan Infantry crossed the Rappahannock River to Fredericksburg under heavy fire in December 11th, 1862. So I did a little research on this because, of course, back when I first heard that the drummers were young, I was like, so were they getting shot like the other soldiers? And the answer is yes. Yes, they were. The youngest person to be killed was a 13-year-old. His name was Charles King. So he was the youngest to be killed. And the youngest to be injured on the battlefield was a 12-year-old. The 12-year-old's name was William Black. And they even had drummers who signed up that were 9 years old. So to me, that's just amazing that soldiers would let them do that. So of course in my brain I'm thinking, well, okay, they just let them in, and maybe they had a gentleman's agreement that you don't aim for the drummer. And that's definitely not the case. Like once the battle started, it was a free-for-all just for everyone. But what's crazy to me is that there's just a line of young boys that were waiting for their chance to be able to lead the soldiers into battle. And in a way, I admire that. Even though you're scared to death and you know the person before you just got killed, these young men still stepped up and still wanted to be a part of what was going on. So it's admirable to me. So at this time, I'm going to invite up Dr. Amanda Maddox. She's on the faculty here at Northeast, and we are going to play a drum and fife piece. It's called The Downfall of Paris. the djembe, and the D is silent. The djembe. So the djembe is of African origin. It was used to signify the reaping of the harvest. So they would have these things that they would call the casa. You have the casa. So the casa was played, and the men in the field knew a couple of things were going to happen. They knew that either, one, the women are coming with the food. Two, it's a good harvest. Let's keep harvesting. Or three, the harvest is about to end. We're almost near the end. So here you can see many different djembes. You see all the different sizes. There's many that you can get. The cool thing to me about a djembe is even if you don't know much about the djembe, you can get one and just experiment with the sounds. Christopher Shager, that's back there in the back, I know for a fact that he does drum circles. And it's just fun. Like, you don't have to have any training. But all of us in here could get a drum and just get together. And I can play a rhythm, and you can play some stuff, and it's just going to go back and forth and back and forth. It's a call and response thing. All of the call and response things, pretty much that we have, kind of originates from Africa. Even what we do in church, there are some songs, especially in the black church, where you'll have a call and response. Somebody will sing something, and then the congregation will sing something back. All of that comes from this. If you think about Brazil, they have just these huge street parties where the streets are full of people, and they all have drums, and they all have a certain type of drum. So even if you can only go, dum, dum, there's a drum for you. Just big drums, and that drum is actually the most essential drum that you have. You're going down the street, and they're just going, dum, 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 dum. Everybody else is playing all this cool stuff, and they're just with that big mallet, smiling. If you can see under the mask, I'm smiling right now. Smiling. There's all different types. But with the djembe, it's kind of the same thing. So this is the djembe that I have up here. I'm going to show you just some different things that you can do with the sounds of a djembe. And this is what I love about percussion. There's so many different sounds that you can get from a drum that you can just experiment and just come up with your own stuff. So, djembe, hollow in the bottom, right? Still have a membrane here, have a head. So, you can play in the middle of the drum. Big, deep. I am man. You can play near the edge. You can play a little bit in. Kind of get both sounds. You can do anything with this. So, with the djembe, tonight I'm going to be playing it just kind of you're sitting on the floor. You can have a strap that you can strap to it, and you would stand up and it would be here, and you would just play the drum from here, just doing whatever you needed. So versatile. So, with the casa, there are several different calls, and I'm just going to show you two tonight, okay? So, I want you to say this. Block the block the block the block. 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 You still say it. I'm gonna play and you say it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna play and you say it one more time. Here we go. Wait a minute. Let's put the spice on it. We're gonna put the spice on it. All right. Let's try it again. Can you tap your foot here where you feel? It's right there. There we go. So me, I'll play it and then you sing it. There you go. Now, I want you to experiment on your legs, on the side of the chair. Even if you don't want to go all out, you can just go here. Okay? So here we go. So I'll go, I'll play it, and then you play it. I'll play it, then you play it. Oh, look at you. I know the food's coming. I'm very excited. You guys played it so well. Oh, Dr. Beckel, the apples are coming in nice. That's a good harvest. They're good fat apples because you guys are playing it so well last time. So does anybody need a scholarship? Because you guys are doing a really good job. Really good job. Really good job. All right, let's try this one. This will be the second call. So it ends kind of weird on the end. So if it's here, try that go. There you go. So me. Now let's try this. I'm going to play it, you immediately play it. So it'll go. Okay, can we do that 4 times? Here we go. That is just a short intro into the djembe. So I tried to pick some things to where we kind of go on around the world with some of the instruments, but folks, listen to me. There are so many percussion instruments that there's no way. If we stayed here until midnight, I could keep going about all the different instruments. If we just did Japanese instruments, we would be here for a long, long time. So much good stuff. But with this, so easy to play. Even if you just go, you're in there. You can come to the drum circle. We're gonna play some grooves. You got it. Okay? Just a show of hands. Who kind of likes this instrument? I was just kind of curious. All right. We have our President Ford here tonight. Even he was like, I kind of like that one. I'm gonna get you one for Christmas. All right. Now, excuse my walk. All right. The cajon. It looks like Cajon, but it is a cajon. Originally from Peru. So it's played by slapping the front or the rear with either your hands or some type of stick. There's just so many things that you can do with the cajon. Primarily used in Afro-Peruvian music, but it's made its way into Latin American music. That's where I became aware of the cajon. And really, I didn't become aware of it until sometime in the 2000s. I guess I was just behind the game. But once I saw them, I thought it was so versatile. Like I had to get one. I had to get one for our studio here. And I'm actually planning on getting some more. If you'll notice the picture that we have here, there are so many things that you can do with the cajon. If you look, actually some of them have pedals like you would play with a bass drum. Because you can put cabasas on them. You can put a wood block where you're playing like the clave beat. You're playing that in a foot, and then you're playing some different things with your hand. They have projection holes so you can actually hear. The cool thing to me about a cajon is a cajon sounds awesome by itself. You normally play on the sides here. But the cool thing is it has an opening in the back. So if I wanted to play cajon with Campus Country, Mr. Dunn, see how you like that shout out? Mr. Dunn can give me a bass drum mic, and I can put it right in here, and it sounds amazing. He's actually used this on 2 shows? On 2 shows with his percussionists in the Campus Country group. It just sounds so good. Also, tell me what you hear. Yes, there are snares on the inside that give it that extra little Just an extra little pop. So with the cajon, you sit on it, back up. You have an area that you can play on top. You can play with your fingers. Side. And the more you come down, the more of a bass note you're going to get. You can play bass notes. Play on the side. So many different sounds that you can get with the cajon. Okay? So you can do funk grooves. So many different things you can do, but tonight we're going to do a tumbao, we're going to do some island grooves, and I'm also going to switch to congas. The reason why I picked this order, because we're going African with the congas, you can still play African grooves, and I got someone that's going to help me with that tonight to kind of show you guys that. And then all of your Latin grooves, your funk grooves, everything that you can do, that's going to be right here, okay? So at this time, I'm going to invite up Mr. Dunn. He's our campus country instructor, commercial music. He is just the man all the way around. He's going to help me tonight on his bass guitar. Y'all give him a hand. Also going to pick up Zach Castro. He's a student here at Northeast in the percussion studio, and he's going to help out with some things as well. Y'all give him a hand. Let's do, while he gets set up, let's go ahead and do the double bell. Let's do some African. Now, with the congas, so we're just going to kind of switch around. All right. So with the congas, a lot of times conga players will play with 3 congas. Tonight I'm only going to use 2. You have 3 types. You have the quinto, that's the smallest, and then you have, really tonight I'm using the middle one, but this is going to be our low one. So the middle one is the tredo, and then the lowest one is the tuba. So it's coming from one drummer to play at least 2 or 3 drums. Became popular in Latin, Afro-Cuban, salsa, merengue, and Latin rock music, developed by the Cuban people of African descent during the late 19th century. So the slaves that were leaving Africa, whenever they got to these places, of course they brought their culture with them, and then it kind of evolved with the people that's there, and then it kind of came up with their own sound, their own type of music, and it's just fantastic. If you hear it, you can't help but to just kind of just do a little. Oh, that's nice. That's nice right there. So, coming off of the djembe on the congas. Now we know this as a Latin instrument, but it is also an African instrument. So, if you were playing a African groove, this is going to be something that's called like a nenigo. So what's going to happen is Zach is going to play the nenigo groove on the go-go bells. So again, I'm going to play it, and then I want you to see if you can clap it. So it's going to go like this. It's going to go, you have 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Try it. 1, 2, 3. So, we're going to start with the Timpani.
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to play Timpani on the Cajon. Mr. Dunn's going to back me up with that awesome bass guitar of his. Listen to how the groove is first. Go ahead, start your music. Take it from here. Try this with me, try this with me. Keep it going, keep it going. This is going to be more of an islandy tune. So if you think Trinidad and Tobago, you think Jamaica, this is what kind of music you would hear in places like that, okay? So, last thing that we're going to try, this is a tumbao played on a conga. So you're going to have this. You got your arms on your chair? Okay. Doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed. Here we go. Left hand. You're going to go like this. You're going to go, your hand's going to be flat. You're going to go heel, finger, and then this hand you're going to go slap. So it's going to go heel, finger, slap. So I'll do it. Heel, finger, slap. You can do it. Heel, finger, slap. All right, that's the first part. So it's going to go heel, finger, slap, finger, heel, finger, and then it's open tone. Heel, finger, slap, finger, heel, finger, open tone. Heel, finger, slap, finger, heel, finger, open tone. Heel, finger, slap, finger, heel, finger. Now, you go with me. Heel, finger, slap, finger, heel, finger, open tone. Here we go here. Keep going, keep going. Heel, finger, slap, finger, heel, finger, open. Heel, finger, slap, finger, heel, finger, open. Heel, finger, slap. Yeah. Uh-oh, there we go. Not bad, y'all. Not bad. So that's the grooves that I'm going to be playing. end it out. We feel good?
Yeah.
Everybody have a good time so far? All right, here we go. Here we go. So let's go.
Gotta sing it with me now. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here we Folks, thank you very much. Thank you for coming out to this. Thank you for supporting anything that goes on here at Northeast. This is one of the best places to work. I tell folks all the time, hasn't been one day that I've woken up and not wanted to come to work. This place is amazing. All the people here, the folks that came tonight, braving COVID, I appreciate it. Everybody at home that's watching on the live feed, thank you very much. I want to thank my family, thank all my coworkers, President Ford, his lovely wife that's here. Y'all give them a hand for showing up. Really, really appreciate it. Dr. Maddox, thank you so much. Let's give her a hand. And where is Dr. Langley? Dr. Langley, stand up. Thank you. I hope everybody has enjoyed this. I hope you've learned something. And just remember, percussion, there is something for everyone. Thank you so much.
Before you leave, I have these surveys. Can you please get one and fill out the survey tonight? And if you're online, I will give you one here in a minute. You'll just hold on just a second. But they'll be passing out these surveys, and take your phone and turn your camera on and scan the QR code. It will take you directly to the survey.